Born of nuclear radiation and destined to walk the earth forever, welcome to Godzilla Reviewthon! What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeek Mixer here, ready for the 5th installment to the Godzilla franchise, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. An important installment in the Godzilla franchise because it introduces a monster who would go on to become his most famous arch nemesis, King Ghidorah. So let's get into it. The movie pretty much starts off with meteorite crash landing on Earth somewhere in a mountain, and people find it and then they start to research it because it has some sort of magnetism power. But it doesn't take long for all that magnetism to start acting up. That meteorite starts to glow, and then it breaks apart, and then flashes of light start to come around. And what is this? Oh, it's King Ghidorah. He's hatched from that meteorite, and man, look at this guy. Just goes over that castle and already causes a hurricane, and his gravity beams, just the mere impact of him on that ground. Look at all that destruction it's causing. Those three heads and those gravity beams are just insane. How will Earth stop this thing? They don't seem to have any defense against it, but in actuality, they do. They have a human who's going by a Martian, who claims to be a Martian. Yes, she claims to be a prophetess and a Martian, but not only that, she's actually a princess. Yes, this princess is also planning to be assassinated for a political reason by villains, but luckily, she's able to go into disguise as a Martian, a prophecy telling them that the world will end. And she's really talking about King Ghidorah, but not only that, she's also trying to warn people about other monsters rising. At Mount Osta, she warns that Rodan will rise. Of course, nobody's listening to her. They think she's crazy, but they end up finding out she's right because Rodan does emerge. And yeah, he's back. Looks like ready for some more terror in the skies. And not only that, she also prophesies that a ship must not sail. And of course, nobody listens to her. And unfortunately, when that ship's out there, Godzilla rises from the ocean again, and that boat is its first victims. Now, there was at least 2 people who took her fruition into consideration, or more, they knew what she meant. That is the twin fairies of Mothra Island. Yeah, they were gonna go on that ship as well, but they knew what she meant. And it's a good thing they stayed too, because with King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Godzilla, man, this is not looking good. And what's even worse is that Godzilla and Rodan just crossed paths. But since they know Ghidorah's the bigger threat, they just don't know what to do. But that's where the fairies come in. They are willing to bring Mothra to help, but not to directly fight Ghidorah on her own, because, hell, this is King Ghidorah, a 3-headed dragon monster, and Mothra is just a caterpillar. They come up with a better idea, though. Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra fighting together. Of course, everyone's expressions be like, seriously? Those 2 monsters helping us? How can we do that? Well, of course, they decide that they have to call Mothra and get them to talk and get her to talk with those 2. She unfortunately shows up at a bad time, because really, good luck with it, because all these 2 seem to want to do is fight each other. I mean, by the time she shows up, they're busy playing volleyball with a rock. Of course, she is able to get their attention after spraying them to get them to stop fighting and listen, which leads to a very funny moment. I mean, now, this movie is a great movie too, because it really shows some characteristics with Godzilla and Rodan. You got Rodan and Godzilla laughing at each other as they're being silked before listening out to Mothra. But either case, Mothra, after getting their attention, talks to them, tries to get them to help her, but of course, they don't want to help. And since her pleas are in are like of no use to her, she decides she'll just have to take Ghidorah on alone. And Godzilla and Mothra, as she's going along, being like, "You serious, kid? You're just like a little baby. How can you beat this thing?" And they're right. I mean, all the destruction that thing caused, she shows up to try to fight. Man, she's just getting beat up. Luckily, Godzilla and Rodan, seeing even though she stands no chance, see how brave she is, gains some respect for her and decides to help her. And in the process, they're helping the planet. But this has nothing to do with them necessarily helping the planet. They just grew to respect Mothra. And that's when the battle for the survival of the planet begins. Those three monsters, or better yet, four monsters in total, are just giving it all they got here. Luckily, though, Mothra, with help from Rodan, who allows her to ride on his back, and flies up in the air and starts spraying him with his web. And King Ghidorah, he gets all webbed up, and finally, he is defeated. He starts to run off, and Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra stand triumphant. And that is pretty much how it all goes. Oh, and on the human side of things, basically, yeah, those assassins, like I said, trying to kill the princess, but they're able to be stopped, but sort of by the humans, but really they are inadvertently stopped by the monsters. Like every time they tried to attempt to kill her, those monsters inadvertently saved her. Like for one, Godzilla destroys a power line after Rodan, who had lifted him up and threw him down on that power line, stopped a treatment that was going to happen with her. And then King Ghidorah with his gravity beams caused a rock slide to stop the assassins. So pretty crazy stuff on that end with the human part of the story, but not all that important as the monster part of it. Now this film is like, let's put it this way. Now this film is the start for Godzilla transcending into a hero, because even in this film, there's a little more comedy fashion shown in this. Because like I said earlier, Godzilla and Rodan show a lot of personalities during their fight and through their interaction with Mothra, because even through their language of the monster language that the fairies translate for us, we actually get to understand Godzilla and Rodan's personality more. It turns out the reason, first off, they didn't want to help humanity is because humanity's always attacking them, and they just didn't like that. So they feel like if they're gonna keep on attacking us, why should we help them? This makes y'all get better in depth on these monsters as characters. But even still, the comedy that was shown in here for these guys, it was hilarious to say the least, which is also another great part about this film. I mean, it's just an awesome film, guys. So, I'm sorry, guys. But either case, also, like I said, Godzilla transcends more into a hero now, but let's just say, starting at this point, he's more anti-hero-like instead. He's not completely blown hero just yet. But this is a really great entry into the series, and this is very important right here now, guys. With the summer premiere coming up, just for some of you guys who are interested in Godzilla, like if y'all saw 2014 Godzilla and are ready to see this one coming out in the summer, you must see this one first, because every monster that's going to be in that movie that's been confirmed, Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, are all in this film. So this is pretty much saying the summer premiere movie that's coming out, it draws source, no doubt, from this, because this is where King Ghidorah came into the picture, and this is where Rodan also crossed over into the Godzilla franchise. Mothra crossed over in the previous franchise in Mothra versus Godzilla, and then shows back up here. But you guys are getting my point, right? You must see this film right here before going to see the summer premiere, just to get a little bit of an idea on what might happen coming in the summer premiere. Now, there's no doubt it's not going to be a complete copy of this, but no doubt you're going to see some Easter eggs or references from this film in the summer premiere of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. But either case, guys, this is also one of my top 10 films. I mean, introducing your arch enemy and making it into a battle brawl of all these monsters and how you're able to conjure it up pretty good together. Yeah, I would definitely recommend this film. Do not hesitate, guys. Go get this film. It is worth it. Or if you guys Or if you guys have it, rewatch this before going to see Godzilla King of the Monsters, because I am definitely doing that. But that'll be all for today, guys. If you enjoy my videos, click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!